I think, Jyoti, we can start now.
Sorry. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining for today's webinar. My name is Jyoti, and my name is Jyoti, and I'm a part of a big tech team at NASCOM Foundation. So today we will start with a little bit of housekeeping. The all lines are muted, and if you have any technical issues throughout the session, please type it in a chat box which is on your webinar panel. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type it in a Q&A box. We will take 2 minutes for a question, for a poll question that will pop up on your screen now, which will help us to which will give us a better sense of majority of the audience in the webinar, that what they are looking for. If you can answer these polls. So before we start, we will start with a little bit of housekeeping. If you are on a Wi-Fi connection and have a multiple programs open, it may sometimes affect the quality of the audio and the video of the webinar. If possible, please close all the programs to have a best experience. Please note this webinar will be recorded and will be streamed live. The recording will be available on the NASCOM Foundation YouTube page. Now I shall call upon Saurabh Madan to set the context for the session.
Thank you, Jyoti. Thank you for the lovely introduction. Thank you everyone for joining us today. What we do at NASCOM Foundation, just to give you a very, very brief introduction of myself first, I take care of communications and volunteering at NASCOM Foundation. What we really try and do at NASCOM Foundation is transform India bit by bit. Jyoti, if you can go on to the next slide, please. So at NASCOM Foundation, we divide our work into separate segments of sorts, and then there is volunteerism and donations that runs across all the things that we do as well. So one of them is skilling, wherein we've been able to train over 17.5 lakh people through digital literacy, STEM-based skilling, employability-based skilling, and even entrepreneurship skilling. And the other segment is Tech for Good, wherein we curate solutions like, for example, just last week, we launched a solution called My Ember, a women's safety and empowerment app. We also help social enterprises and NGOs like yours to create new social innovations, and we try and help scale them up as well. In partnership with TechSoup, we kind of hope to become your digital transformation partners. And therefore, we also try and provide you with a lot of these software solutions like Adobe Premiere itself, among others, as at a very discounted, heavily discounted price, or even as like completely zero cost donations, depending on the kind of solutions that isn't there on offer. We also have started, or rather restarted with our volunteering initiative. Jyoti, if you can go back a little. Back. Yeah, wherein we again so far have been able to onboard around 1,000 odd NGOs, and we hope to onboard more such more NGOs like yourself, so that we can put out your opportunities and your activities that you want to perform with the volunteer. In case you require any help with the volunteers, we are able to host that for you, again at completely no cost. We are also able to host your donation campaigns if you are running any, again at zero cost and at zero admin charges too. So all the donation that we collect from within the industry actually comes directly to you. Jyoti, if you can move on to the next slide, please. So big tech, basically, we just launched Wix last week only, and that's what this particular slide also states. In case you're looking out for creating a satellite website or your own main website, you can reach out to us, and uh, we'll be glad to give a highly discounted rate of around 70% on what you'll be otherwise able to see at wix.com. So otherwise too, we have been able to curate a gamut of solutions for you, starting from donor management based solutions like Microsoft Dynamics CRM, etc., to security solutions like Quick Heal, Bitdefender, and so on and so forth, or operations-based solutions like, for example, Office 365, Google for nonprofits, etc. Everything that you can think of while running an organization. If you require any software, you can just look at the Big Tech website, and you'll mostly find those software available to you as an NGO at a lower price, a much lower price. Jyoti, move on to the next slide, please. So this is something that we very recently launched, the volunteering platform of sorts called My Kartavya. The idea for this particular platform is to bridge the gap between the industry volunteers and the NGOs like yourself. And what we are hoping to do is like have as many NGOs onboarded and your activities and opportunities onboarded as well, to make sure that the volunteers from within the industry are able to contribute so that you actually are able to scale up your operations, are able to create more efficiency around your own organizations, and so on and so forth. Moving on to the next slide. I think there's a slide before this as well, Jyoti. Anyway, so today we want to also talk about videos. So as NASSCOM Foundation, we have also understood, and we know for a fact that videos play a really important role in any NGO's marketing strategy. So much so that according to 2019 Nonprofits Communications Trend Report, when asked the responsibilities that any particular NGO would want to give to a new hire, the top responses were if the new hire could do social media, content creation, or create impactful videos for an NGO. So it is among the top priorities right now when we talk about NGO-based marketing. So much so that even YouTube recognized this in 2018 and started a new channel of sorts called YouTube Giving. You can Google that, and you'll actually know a lot more about as to how YouTube Giving can also help you. Nonetheless, we all understand, and that's why we are here, in the fact that NGO video marketing will also does face a lot of challenges, particularly with the kind of resources that are available to us, and so that we are able to create a good and powerful video. We don't even have a good tool to do that. So with that in mind, we have put out Adobe Premiere Pro elements on Big Tech, so that you can again take up Adobe Premiere Pro at a really highly discounted price. How do you use it is the other question that generally comes to our mind. For that, we have Shipra Singh with us. She basically is a certified Adobe expert in Adobe Premiere Pro with 5 years of successful experience within Adobe. She specializes in Adobe video products like Premiere Pro, After Effects, Premiere Rush, Audition, and so on and so forth. At a personal level, she enjoys very trying sports like, for example, volleyball, like tennis, and so on. She's a strong believer in the power of positive thinking in a workplace and follows the never stop learning approach. With this, I would like to now hand over the proceedings to Shipra. Shipra, over to you.
Thank you, Saurabh. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you. Very good morning to one and all present here, first of all. My name is Shipra, and it's my pleasure to walk you through Premiere Pro today. So I hope we will continue this journey with a successful learning And by the end of this learning time of 2 hours, we will be able to create some videos and export them successfully. So shall we start?
Yes, Shipra, I think we can start.
Great, great. So I'm going to share my screen, and with a few PowerPoint slides, I'll be able to explain better and will help people in understanding and learning Premiere Pro better. So I would first of all like to understand how many of us we actually have Premiere Pro installed on the machines. Do we have access? I see a few yes and a few no's. But no problem. People with no, I would suggest you to please take a copy, a notepad and a pen so that you can take a note, because this will be just a basic understanding of the application and you will be able to understand it better once you will be using it on hands, you will be doing on hands experience. So let's start with the presentation slide and a little practical. I'll show you what we can do so you can take a note of it. Pro. Let me open the chat as well. All right. Just a moment, just a moment. Just give me one moment. Okay. So let's start with the basic essentials training. And whenever anyone has any question, just raise the hand on raise a hand or put a query on the chat box. I'll look in between in within few minutes. Once we'll be done with any slide, I'll be looking at it again. All right. So we'll start with the introduction first of all. Premiere Pro is the time-based video editing software. So we can edit, we can just capture any sort of clips, like we can go for zoo safari and jungle safaris, and we can go to any wedding, we can capture a few clips and then just merge them to create a short movie or a long movie, whichever you want. So you have seen from the beginning, initially we used to have the CDs of wedding environment. So now we create them, all of them from Premiere Pro very easily. It's very easily. So it's just the time-based video editing software, which means you can capture the clips anytime and you can edit them anytime. There is no requirement to capture them in the real time. All right. So come to the next part. It is a part of Adobe Creative Cloud. So Adobe Creative Cloud is basically the entire suite, which consists of After Effects, Premiere Pro, Media Encoder, Photoshop, and many more applications. First version of Premiere Pro was released in 1991. That is actually the year when I got born. So, that's just the year when I and Premiere Pro got together. And only for Mac, it launched in 1991. Whereas for Windows, they have launched it in 1993. And in 2007, CNN is the channel you may have heard of. CNN is the channel, CNN is the entire business group which has adopted Premiere Pro. And then BBC adopted it in 2008. Few movies you have heard about: Deadpool, Avatar, Terminator, Dark Fate, Monsters, Superman Returns. I guess sabne dekhi hongi ye pictures, right? And these are edited on Premiere Pro itself. So let's move on to next slide. I'll be just looking on the chats just to be sure. Anyone has any question? So yes, the software is period available from Adobe, the 7 days of trial period, and after which we have to purchase the application. Perfect. Let's move on. So basic configuration and setup. What are the basic requirements to install Premiere Pro? There are some, yes. So let me show you. This is the direct link of Adobe application. Let me show you. Okay, we see Premiere Pro requirements here. So for Windows and for Mac, there are requirements. They both are different. For Windows, we have processor, which is the minimum requirement for the processor is 6th generation and above. Operating system is Windows 10. It is no more provided on Windows 7, Windows 8, or 8.1. No, it is only for Windows 10. That too 60. The minimum requirement is 8 GB, whereas the recommended specification from Adobe is 16 GB for HD media and 32 GB for 4K media. 4K, which means we normally use very high-end cameras like GoPro footage, and also these all are captured in 42 GB at least. Otherwise, the files will skip. आप प्लेबैक करेंगे तो आपको जिटर आएगा, थोड़ा थोड़ा छूट छूट के प्लेबैक होगा, जैसे यू मे हैव सीन इट इन टेलीविजन, न्यूज में भी होता है कि सिग्नल डाउन हो गया, इस टाइप आपको पता चलता है, लेकिन इट्स नॉट दैट, सिग्नल डाउन नहीं होता, वो जब वो लोग उसको ब्रॉडकास्ट करते हैं अपने चैनल्स को, अपने फाइल्स को ब्रॉडकास्टिंग के टाइम पे वो फाइल्स इतनी हेवी होती हैं कि योर मशीन इज नॉट एबल टू प्रोसेस देम प्रॉपर्ली. Let's go further. GPU is the graphic card. GPU is graphic card for your machine, and 2 GB is minimum requirement, and 4 GB is the recommendation from Adobe for a better playback and better processing. Hard disk space is 8 GB, which is minimum requirement. Otherwise, fast internal hard drives are required. It looks like people have some questions. Let's see.
So I believe, Shipra, most of the comments that are coming in are that people are not able to understand Hindi that much. So if you can continue it, the whole thing in English more.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect. So I was doing it just for the sake, if we have any person to understand in Hindi. Anyway, digital creative marketing, Books for All has already registered. So I guess, Saurabh, you can answer this question better.
Yes, we can take up these questions maybe at the end of the session.
I guess at the end of the session, there will be many questions to answer.
Yes. We'll all combine and we'll take them one by one.
Right. Cool.
So one more thing, Shipra, that we are seeing is that your voice is breaking. So maybe what we can do for now is that you can turn off your video so that the screen is properly visible and the voice is also like audible properly.
Okay. Sure.
This could be due to some bandwidth issues. So
That can be, yes. Right.
yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah. We can proceed now.
Perfect. Sure. So we were on Premiere Pro system requirements page, and I have provided the link. So it is the basic requirement which I have explained above, with the monitor specific resolution, the sound card requirement, and the network storage connection requirement. So I have provided this link in here in the slide. You can go through that later on. I'll share this, trigger the preferences. So when we open the preferences, configuring preferences here is about the inside Premiere Pro interface. So when we open Premiere Pro, when we launch Premiere Pro, it asks for a few preferences settings. We just have to go through this to understand what settings it will require and what sort of settings we will have to follow. So I'll just open this page for better understanding, and we will be launching Premiere Pro after it. Okay, so this is the page where we understand how to set the preferences for Premiere Pro to edit the videos. We will be going through it while working on Premiere Pro. So just to be sure, just to show you, let me launch Premiere Pro for you. So hello Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro uses a panel-based interface which has 25 different panels. 25, trust me, 25 different panels. We just have to go through them. We just have to go through them one by one to learn them. And once you are done with those 25 different panels, trust me, you are the pro. You are the pro. You are the one who can use Premiere Pro like just like that, just within a second. So let's launch Premiere Pro now. This is the interface, how it looks like. I would like to save it and relaunch it just to show you guys so that it can be clear. See, here is the Creative Cloud desktop application I was talking about. So Premiere Pro is a part of Creative Cloud desktop application, and we have many more applications within it. So these are all the part of Creative Cloud: Illustrator, Acrobat, Photoshop. You all may have heard of Photoshop, I'm sure. Acrobat, I'm sure everyone has heard of. And Premiere Pro now we are working on. So Lightroom, Brush, there are many applications. Audition is the application which is used to edit audio. Let's start with Premiere Pro. I have installed it to show you guys. And cool. So it's launching. Okay, this is the welcome page. This is the welcome page for Premiere Pro. And we create a new project from here, new project. And when we click on new project, it gives you a few options. You create a name for the project. For example, if you're creating for a wedding, you type it wedding. If you are creating it for your NASCOM foundation, you type it NASCOM and the year you want, right? And after which you set up a location where you want to save your project so that you can easily access it. If you want to create a specific folder, like within C drive or within documents within desktop, you can use this location option. You click on browse, you save your project anywhere like desktop, and you select the folder. So it gets now whichever application, whichever project you are creating, that will be saved to this location only. After which we came to this part now, general, scratch disk, ingest settings. So I would like to tell you one thing here. This is the setting which you can do before you start the project first, or if you want, you can just go inside the project, you can just work with it, and you can make these changes within project as well. Premiere allows you to make these changes within Premiere Pro 2 while working with the project. So that is okay if you are not able to change the settings here, or if that is completely fine. Otherwise, time code, which means which the frame which you capture the clips in, like the camera which you use, Canon, Nikon, Sony, GoPros, or drone cameras, any camera you use. So they always have a setting within the camera. Which frame settings you want to set, you can select here. Then display format. Display format, you want the audio to be displayed in milliseconds, or audio just to show the audio samples, so that you can edit audio part, the audio waveforms in the same format. All right. Then capture. You should understand the difference between the DV and HDV tapes, the DV and HDV cameras. DV is digital video and HDV is high digital video. So you just need to understand which camera type you have with you, and you select this option accordingly. All right. Or otherwise, this format, this option is to capture. You can capture your video within Premiere Pro also. So then we use this capture option. Renderer part is 2 or 3, or it can have 4 options as well. So let me explain the options here for the renderer. This may take 2 or 3 minutes. You can take a note of it also. If your machine has Intel or AMD card, with the card I mean by graphic card, Intel or AMD graphic cards. If your machine has Intel and AMD graphic cards, it will have Mercury Playback Engine GPU acceleration of OpenCL. The OpenCL, which you see in the brackets, that means something. Yes. So OpenCL is only available if you have AMD and Intel cards, right? Another option is, because my machine, the machine I'm working on right now, has Intel card, Intel graphic card. Let me show you that too. Display adapter. See, my machine has Intel graphic card, and that's the reason I have OpenCL option. All right. Another option is CUDA, C-U-D-A, CUDA. Mercury Playback Engine GPU Acceleration, CUDA. The brackets will say CUDA. So that CUDA is the driver for NVIDIA graphic cards only. If your machine has NVIDIA graphic cards, only then you will be seeing CUDA option here. And if you have NVIDIA only on your machine, then OpenCL will not be present on your machine. So CUDA option is only available for NVIDIA. And then we come with software only. Software only mode is whenever your graphic card driver is not working fine, or you think everything is working fine on your machine, and there is something like there is some load your machine is, your Premiere Pro is putting on the machine, and it is not able to use graphic card properly, then we use the software only options, which means we are not using graphic card driver at all. This is using entirely your Premiere Pro software. Cool. Now we will go further. I'll be just canceling it because I have created a new project already, and I'll be showing it to you. So I just clicked on it, the project I have created. So first of all, whichever project we will be creating, it all will be showing here as the recent available projects. Even if you create 10 projects, it will be shown as a list here. We just click on it, whichever we want to open, and we are inside the project. Okay. Let's go to the slides. Okay. I guess some chats I see. Oh, too fast. I'm sorry. You can tell me which one is skipped so I can explain it again. Anyone? Okay, move on to next question. Mobile phones have DV or HDV camera? They normally have DV cameras. OpenCL, like CUDA is the technology, same way OpenCL is a technology. That's a sort of programming language for a certain kind of GPU processing, right? So certain kind of GPU processing for OpenCL is Intel and AMD. OpenCL is a technology that serves that just serves the purpose same as CUDA, but for different cards, different graphic card. Hi, I have a system which has Windows 10, 16 GB RAM and 2 GB GPU. Will Premiere Pro work? Yes, that will work. Swastik, that will work on your machine very well. I'll go to the first slide of project. Praveen. The introduction you mean, Praveen? Or the basic configuration setup? Praveen, which first slide you want? Introduction or basic setup? Welcome, Joseph. Okay, we'll move on to next. Basic setup, okay. So this is the basic configuration and setup. These links will be available in the PPT. I'll share the PPT with you. I'll share with Saurabh, and he'll share the PPT with all of you guys.
So just to be of a little more assistance over here, Shipra, let me also ask a couple of questions that I'm seeing in the QA question answer box. So which graphics card would you prefer? Is one of the questions from Kirti Raj.
So, right, we again go to the basic requirements page. Let me open that. Here. Okay, when we drag the page down, it has a list of tested graphic cards, you see. This is the list of tested graphic cards. These graphic cards are tested by the engineers of Adobe, and only these cards are recommended to be used for Premiere Pro. If you have another graphic card, I would not say that it will not work. It will work, but that may give you a few playback issues, rendering issues, and sort of performance issues, we can say.
Great. Another question, I think I'll be able to answer that. What will be the cost for the purchase of this software? As you know, we are an NGO and we can't afford. So the good thing is with Big Tech, the software is available as a combo offer, really. You'll get both Adobe Photoshop elements and Premiere elements, which is a curtailed version of Photoshop Pro and Premiere Pro, but still works for most of the operations that we want to perform on it. And that is going to, as a combo, is going to cost you 2,148 rupees only. And this license will be valid till around 2025, till the year 2025. So the cost is going to be very, very minimal at around 2,148 rupees only. And in case you want to go ahead and go for the complete Adobe Creative Cloud Suite with all the apps, then the cost would be for that 1 year, the cost will be 19,195 rupees, which is basically a 60% discount on the market price, and very small admin fees of around 398 rupees, which NASSCOM Foundation generally gets. So the cost again is going to be around, at a 60% discount of around 19,195 rupees for Creative Cloud. For just the Photoshop and the Premiere Pro elements, the cost for around 4.5 years license is going to be just 2,148 rupees. Sorry. I think we can continue, Shipra, from here.
Saurabh, they have one more question.
Yes.
Do we need ATG or FCRA to claim that discount? So,
Yes, we'll require FCRA. NGOs will require FCRA to claim that discount. That is something that we'll definitely want. Okay, I think we can move on now.
perfect. So, cool. So let's start with the Premiere Pro panels, Premiere Pro workspaces. Premiere Pro has 8 pre-built workspaces so that you can easily modify your work and easily manage the work you do. For example, let's start with the first one, learning workspace. Let me show you directly on Premiere Pro. Learning workspace is one of the best ways to get acquainted with Premiere Pro CC and is the perfect primer for new and returning users. The reason is it has a few tutorials available side by side while you're working with it. All right. Premiere Pro can teach you how to do the basics video editing and the interface you'll be working in the learning workspace. So here is the Premiere Pro. Let me show you. So all the workspaces you see at the top: learning, assembly, editing, color, effects, audio, graphics, library. Here is learning. You see Premiere Pro tutorials on the left, Premiere Pro overview. Wherever you get stuck at while working, you just look for the tutorials. You can also click on this new tutorials available, and this will take you to Adobe page directly, and we'll show you the basic tutorials for whichever requirement you have. It shows you the basics, for example, import and export, the timeline usage, the basic effects usage. Then skills and projects, it helps you with the stylish activities and creativities. Then after learning, we come on to assembly part. Assembly is the workspace in which you don't have the monitors where you can see the clips, the source monitor. Okay, let me show you the interface first of all. So this is the basic interface. I'll help you in understanding every panel one by one. I'm just getting one odd clip here. Okay, so the left bottom corner where I have my cursor, where I have my clips, this is the clips organizing bin. We call it project bin. Project bin in industry terms. This is used to organize all your media. You can import your audio, video, your images, anything, and can organize here. You can also create new bins. Create new bin means a sort of new folder like you create on your desktop machine. Same way you create a new bin, like I name it bin 1. Where is it? Okay, it is at the bottom. And now I want to put these 2 clips in bin 1. Now see how organized this is. I have these two clips. I know these two are my important clips I want to use in one project. I just put them in one different folder, one different bin. This is how we use the bins. And this is the project bin, project panel. We can say project panel or project bin, either ways. And this is used to organize media, to import media. Every clip, every footage has to be imported here only. Okay. Now this comes, whichever video we have here, we just double click on it to see in source panel. You see at the top, it is named as source, which means source panel this is. And this shows the entire time code here. You can drag the cursor and see how long the footage is. This is 20 seconds. So the time code works as millisecond, second, minute, and then hour. This way the time code works. Okay. So this is the source panel. This is the project panel. Project panel is where you see, where you get the clips imported and organized. Source panel is where you see the raw footage which you have imported directly. This doesn't show you the edited image. No, it will not show you the edited image. All right. So this is the timeline. Here we import the clips. Let me import the same clip. Timeline is, we call it timeline. Okay. In timeline, we drag the footage from project bin to timeline. Now, if we make any changes here in timeline, so I'll explain you everything later on. I'm just showing you the panels first of all. Whatever changes we'll be making here in timeline, it will be visible in this monitor only. This is known as program monitor. Program monitor means the real-time preview monitor. This shows you whichever editing you are doing on any video or clip. This shows you in the real time right here in the program monitor. Whereas if you want to see the same clip in source monitor, this will show you the raw image with no edits. Source monitor shows the raw images and program monitor shows the, now the panels are media browser. Media browser is used to import the media. We'll talk about import later on in the slides. So media browser is the location where you just navigate your machine location and import the media. For example, I have my footage available in downloads. So I'll just navigate to downloads. Downloads is here. And, just a moment. Okay, it is somehow not showing. Maybe I'm connected on Office Network Drive. That's why. So anyways, you can do that on personal machines. In media browser, if you have anything on, like if you have files on desktop, you can search from here. You can locate your desktop from here. There it is. Okay, this is desktop, and you can just select the clip and just move on to the, just right click and import. Okay, and that will import directly to your project bin. Then we move on to libraries. So the person who has Adobe Stock access. So Adobe Stock is another hub for all the video and audio files. So the person who has Adobe Stock access, they see the downloaded files here in libraries. Then we go in effects. Effects shows all kind of effects, audio effects, which you can use video effects which you can use, video transitions, your lumetri presets. So let me show you just one example. With what does that mean with the effect? I just take this lightning effect and drag it and drop it onto the clip. See the change it brings to the footage, and we can make different changes to the clip as well. I'll explain you later on, because we are still not at the part of importing. This is just to show you the bins usage step. Okay, then After Effects, we move on to markers. We apply markers on the clips. So when we share our projects to someone else, or uh, if we share project to someone else and we want to tell them that at this part he just have to read this, at this part we made this changes just because of this, and at this part he has to make this changes. So you can put the markers and type your comments in there. Okay, this history shows what all changes you have recently made to the clips. Okay, then there are many other options. We see audio clip mixer, audio meters, clip 25 panels within Premiere Pro. So we just have to go through all 25 panels to learn them. So we'll work on it and learn them one by one. All right. And then we went to assembly. Okay, let me show you assembly one, too. This is assembly. In assembly is specific workspace to organize your media. Here you see your project bin is bigger than all other panels, and source panel is no more present here because it is not required. It is not required. The assembly workspace is created just to assemble and organize your media here. And that's the reason why this panel is this long. Okay. Then we go to editing. Editing, I have shown you, I just have shown you. Editing is the panel in which all the panels will be available. Editing workspace has all the panels, all the major panels available. So major and basic panels are the one to import, the one to view, the one to edit, and then the one to give you real time. Okay. Then we go on color workspace. Let me show you. We go on color workspace at the top, you see. And when you select your clip, it enables all the options to do the color corrections, to make changes, to make color changes to your clips, whichever color changes you want to do. Like you want to fade the film, okay, you want to do the vibrance, you want to do the saturation point, whichever you want to do, you can do here. Tint balance, it changes the color, or you want to use the color wheel directly, it gives you this color workspace means the easy access to the color panel. See, you have it here, whereas you didn't see it here in the editing. So how will you do the color editing? We can't do it easily. We can do it, but that will take enormous time, right? In that case, we use the color panel directly. People have something. How to add in subtitles and ensure they are timed accurately. Definitely, I'll tell you later on, because we are still not at import part and we have people who still want to understand how to import files properly. A window popped that's showing sequence settings. Keep exam. Could you please explain? Yes, Anand, I will explain this once I'll be working in it. I was just showing the panels initially. Okay, so let's move on to next panel. That is effects. Let's see the effects panel too. Effects panel gives you access to make changes with the effects, to play with the effects only. You see, effects panel gives you these effects, different effects panel, essential graphics, essential sound, limitry color, library, marker, everything that you want to make change, that you use actually to work with the video, especially effects panel. When you see, we have maximized all the effects and see how many effects we have for Premiere Pro, right? And when we use these effects, these all have to be expanded in the same way when we work on it, so that we can just do a test and trial and understand which effect we actually want to require to achieve the required results. And that's the reason why effects panel is created, for our easy understanding and usability. Then it comes with audio. In audio clip mixer panel, open in the place of source monitor. So let me show you. This is the source monitor we see. In editing also we saw the source monitor here. But you see, here is the audio option. And we have audio clip mixer here. No source monitor, audio clip mixer. The reason is I really have no audio in my timeline. Let me show you how audio clip mixer looks like. Let me get one audio in the project. Okay, I have this audio now. I selected the audio and see whenever I play back the audio, you see that difference it makes on the audio clip mixer. The reason is it is only on A1 channel right now. So I'll explain you this import part again for better understanding. This is just to show you how audio clip mixer is working. Okay. Then we go to graphics. This allows you to use the default Premiere Pro templates. See, let me bring one template in here. Okay, so this was the template. See, this was the template and this is how it looks on a clip. And we can edit the audio on the text available on here. For example, I'm putting it like NASCOM Pro Bono Tech. See, it is edited, but it is a little hazy. The reason is it has overlapped the old text. See, now you see, I have edited the first line and it can be seen easily here and it is visible here. So this is what graphics panel does. Only essential graphics panel is available only in graphics workspace. And that's why we use it, okay? Libraries is again for if you have Adobe stock subscription that provides you the downloaded audio and video files direct link so that you can just drag and drop to your timeline. Cool? Okay, let's start with the basics again. I'm just going to remove this then. Okay, so let's go into the questions. Okay, basic editing procedure is first of all we import, then we edit, and then we export. This is the three-step process, just the three-step process. But the first and last process is very easy, and the second step is a little hard, and we have to do just a little hard work to achieve that. So that also depends upon the requirements we have to edit the video. Let's begin with the import. So we have three ways to import the files. First is file import, like I've shown you. Let me show you again. This is file. This is import. And it takes you to the file, your machine locations. You go and bring them in. When you click on open, it brings you to the project panel. Then the second option is media browser. Like I have explained to you, I am connected on Office network, and so it is not showing me the location. Whereas if you have any file on any location, like desktop or any specific drive, you can just go through the media browser and just select the clip, right click and import. Okay. The third option is double click on project bin. This is the easiest option we follow. We just double click on project bin and it opens your browse machine. And you just select the clip and bring it in. So these are the three options for import. And just in case you want to set up any shortcut key, for example, you want to open this project panel or import panel with any specific key on your keyboard, like I, O, P, any keyboard shortcut, you can make your keyboard shortcuts here. You go in edit, then you go in keyboard shortcuts, you select here which change you want to follow. So that is a huge list, and you have to set up the command which you want your Premiere to follow to move to that command. Okay, and you just make that keyboard shortcut key. Cool. And okay, here comes the import part. I have imported this clip. Okay, I double clicked and open it in source monitor. Now I'm deleting this part. Okay, no problem. This is the clip. Okay, I'm opening this clip. I opened this clip, and these people are talking. Okay, we see these people are on a conference call. Now I'm making a video where I want a clip, a short portion of this clip where he has started hiring the person. See, where he has raised his hand, and I want this footage till here only. So what will I do to select this portion for the clip? So I click on I to select the endpoint of the clip, and I use, see where it, okay, now here the hand is down. I see, oh, now you see this clip has this portion selected only. Okay, and when we drag this clip to the timeline, this will play only this much. Let me mute the audio first. Okay, see, only the selected portion is in the timeline, other portion is removed. Okay, and this has been done from in and out points. How did we apply in and out points? We used I key on our keyboard for in point, and we used O key on your keyboard for out points. It is mentioned here in the presentation as well, so you can just refer to it later. Okay, now it comes to editing. So we have learned how to import the file and how to select and drag the file to timeline. Okay, now we are coming to editing part. Cool. So now we can create a new sequence, because I have already made this timeline a mess, And I cannot delete it because I have shown you a few things on here. So we may come back to this timeline. So we will create another sequence. We will create a new timeline. See, we go on file, we go on new, and then we go on sequence. Okay. We name our sequence anything like NASCOM editing sequence. We start with it. Okay. And whichever so these are available presets. Someone was asking before the keep changes and the sequence settings query, which I have made the changes. So this is it. Please look at this. Available presets are the presets of cameras. You have Canon cameras, you have GoPro, you have drone cameras, you have SLRs, DSLRs. You just select the preset which you have set for your camera. Okay, you go in your camera and you check which preset you have captured the clips in, and then you select the camera clip here, whichever setting you want to do, and then hit on OK. Okay. If you want, you can go on setting, and if you want, I don't want to set up any preset because I don't remember which preset I have used in my camera. Then you go on editing mode. You select custom, XYZ, any preset. You don't remember which preset you have used to capture the clips. So you select custom. You select the frame size which your clips have. So how do we understand what is the frame size of the clips? Let me show you. I just click on it, and this has created new sequence. You see? Let me show you how the frame size is differentiated. We right click on the clip. We go in the properties. You see, this is the image size, the frame size, 1920 by 1080. Okay. And what we have set for this sequence, the NASCOM sequence, it is 720 by 480. Now, see what happens when I bring 1920 by 1080 file in 720 by 480. See what happens. Now it asks me, change sequence settings or keep existing settings, because my sequence settings has frame size 720 by 480, but my file is with 1920 by 1080. So I can select either ways. Just in case, I select keep existing settings. See what it happens. It has entirely scaled up the image because our file container is small. Our file container is 720 by 480, whereas our file is 1920 by 1080. Our file is huge than the container. Our file size is bigger than the container size. Okay, it's the similar demonstration if like we have a carton available with us. Okay, yes, a shopping carton you may have seen, Amazon carton or any carton we have available with us. So that's the carton of size 14 by 14. Okay, but we have a material to put inside for size 18 into 18. We can't put it, right? If we put it, either the box will be teared, otherwise the file, the product or our item will be shrunk. Okay, so it is not in the container because container is not of the file size. Still, let me tell you one more thing. Like you have sequence of 720 by 480, and you have one file of 720 by 480. Now you have 720 by 480 file in here, which is perfectly fitting into the container. Okay, but you want to import another file of different frame size, that is 1920 by 1080. Now what you'll do, you cannot change the container size, but our files are so flexible that they can fit into the small containers. How? We right click on the file, just a moment. We right click on the file, we select scale to frame size or set to frame size. We select scale if our file is smaller and container is big. We select set when the file is bigger and container is small. Okay. And we got this option by right clicking on the file and timeline. Cool. Okay. Now, we understood how to drag clip from project bin and drop to timeline. We also understood how to select a small portion of the clip in source panel and then bring that small portion in the timeline. Okay, so we basically understood how to drag clips to edit. Okay, I'll check chat once. How to do color corrections. Ankita, I'll explain it later. We are still working on editing part. We are on the basics and we will check with the color correction also. Okay. South Indian language. Yes, Srinivas, yes. Keyboard supports South Indian language. If you have South Indian language font installed on your machine, if you have Telugu installed on your machine, Telugu font, you can use it in Premiere Pro. We have Telugu font available on Adobe website as well. Okay. Now, we understand the use of effects control and effects panel because that's where we actually understand what changes we can make to the files. Okay. So we are in Premiere Pro again. I told you to go in effects panel, effects workspace whenever to work with effects. Okay. Now we are understanding the effects. So here we see in the source panel, it is the raw file, whereas in Program Monitor, it is the edited file. Okay. So what will I do here? I'll show you the effects. One option we have effects control. There are two panels now. One is effects control, another is effects panel. Okay. So when I select any clip, you see a few options are activated on effects control. Motion, position, scale, rotation, anchor, anti-flicker, opacity, okay, time remapping. So I'll explain them all one by one. Just make sure you are paying attention to it because effects control is the basic and very important panel we use for any basic editing. Any basic includes really scaling, moving the positions, rotation, and normally these settings are to be used in any basic editing. Okay, and just to make sure here, if we have file selected in the timeline, only then we see these options available in effects control. If we don't have any file selected, see all options are disappeared. They are not there. Whereas effects panel has all the options, all the transition effects available because they doesn't require a file to be selected. But to move position, scaling, everything, effects control is the only panel we work on. We select the clip, we go on effects control, see, we use scale to scale how much we want to scale. Okay. We use position, to set the position for the file. Okay. Position has another aspect of XY axis. Another is on Y axis. We just set the position. Now we go on rotation. It is on 0. Let me put it on 90 and see what it did. If I make it on 180, it turned it upside down. Now it is back to where it was. So it is better to keep it 0 because I don't. Hi, am I audible?
Yes, Shipra, you're audible, but we've lost your screen view.
Yeah, I guess something has happened. Just give me a moment.
Yes, we can see it now. Hello, Shipra, we can see your screen now, but you're
Okay.
no, now it's fine.
Perfect. So have we finished till this rotation part?
Yes, we had.
Okay, perfect. Anchor point is to set up the anchor point of the clip. This is actually not moving the position. We have to understand the little difference between position and anchor point. Anchor point is changing the anchor, the center point of the file, from the center where it is moving. But it will move exactly from the center. Okay, and then anti-flicker. If your clip is flickering, you apply anti-flicker and it gets fine. It gets fine to some extent. So like we said, this is an editing software, so we can get everything to some extent. Then we go to opacity. So let me show you what opacity does. I select this portion. This is called masking. Okay, I delete it again. These are the 3 masks. I use any mask, okay? One is ellipse mask, another is polygon mask, and one is freestyle mask. So freestyle mask, what it does, we draw the mask from the pen. We draw any kind of mask we want, and what mask does, selects that portion of the clip. Okay, we see we have done it via pen tool. This is called pen tool, the free mask tool. Okay, now what I'll do with it, I'll try to check the opacity changes. I'll try to dissolve it, or I'll try to make any changes. Linear burn. We just have to play through all the settings and we just mask the path. When we click on mask the path, so this was just the demo I have shown you, whereas masking is done. Let me tell you why it is done. Okay, like you are walking in a park, okay, children park, and there is a dog walking behind you. You want this video to be edited and you want to remove that dog from the video. You mask that dog, okay, and then mask the path this way, the same way it is tracking you see on the machine. When you mask the path of the dog will be removed for entire video. That portion will be removed for entire video because I do not have any specific character on this video on which I have applied a mask. This may not work, but Premiere Pro is such a smart tool that it will work when you have any character available on the clip. See, we'll see that. Okay, that worked. You see, that has masked only that portion. Okay, so it is working on that portion only. Now, if I invert the mask, what it does, it removes that portion. I have to. Okay. It removes that portion which has been masked and is running the entire other video. We see. Okay, this is what opacity mask does. Now we are minimizing opacity. Now on time remapping, we work with the speed of the footage. Just a minute. We work with the speed of the footage. How do we change the speed? If so, it is not running because it is short GIF type format. We actually change the speed. For example, you have 1 minute of video, and that is very slow. Like I'm speaking. If I'm speaking very slow, and you want to record this video and then edit it, you just change the speed, the rate of speech I am speaking with. You can change everything. You can also do the speed change from here, from timeline. Right click on the clip, click on speed and duration, decrease or increase the speed, duration. If you want to change the speed, let's say we have changed it to 60, and we want to reverse the speed. See what it does. It will reverse the thing, right? Previously, how it was working? In the clockwise direction. See? And when I reversed the thing, reversed the speed, it has started doing it in anti-clockwise direction. This is how effect controls panel work. Okay, this is the entire panel we talked about. Now let's come on to effects panel. This was effects control. Again, there is difference between effects control and effects. I'm removing the mask for better understanding. And now we go to effects panel. Here is effects, you see. Presets. Let me show you a few presets, after which you have to go through every preset and look at them to understand. For example, I have applied twirl in. Okay, let's see what changes it does. You see, it is twirling the entire video. Previously, it was just galaxy moving, but okay, let me remove this video. I'll bring another one for better understanding. Okay, here. Let me show you. I'll show you a few one only. Twirl in. Okay. See what it does. See? And if I apply twirl out too, see what it does. It will twirl in and see what it does by the end of the clip. It twirled out. Okay. And we can remove these effects if we apply whichever effect on the clip. These effects are available under effects control panel. So you can just click on delete. You can click and delete. Now all the effects are removed. Let me minimize effects control basic. Okay. Let me show you another ones. Let's pick PIPs. Okay. See what it does. These are the pre-prepared default presets made by Premiere Pro. See this change. We normally use this effect if we make caption or subtitles to run at the bottom. Okay. And this also is available. Just a moment. It is not available. Yeah. Let me check. Just give me a moment. Okay, we see. As we have, let's see. Okay, I have selected the clip. See, these PIPs are of motion changes, right? And we already have a motion transcript available here. You see, when we clicked on motion, now it shows which motion change it followed, which motion path it followed. Now, when I expand this motion, it has position applied, it has scale applied, it has anchor point applied. Okay, now what change is done here? You see these small points. Let me show you again. Okay, it may not be visible clearly. Okay, it's not visible clearly here. Let me show you what it does. Okay, you see this small point. Okay, this is keyframes. We have applied keyframes. So let's achieve this same effect manually. I recently have applied PIP 25% LL to LR. This is the already prepared preset we have. So let's achieve the same result manually, and this will make you clear what it has done here. Okay, let me show you. I'll set the entire motion. Okay, see now, let's do it together. We are at the start of the clip. Okay, now first of all we will scale it smaller. Okay, we'll set up the position where it was here. Now scale it a little bigger so that we can see it. Okay, now we set the position, and now we want to set, right now it is stuck at one position, you see, but we want to move it from left to right. How? See how. We are at the start of the clip. Now we set the position. So this is the stopwatch. We see toggle animation button in front of position, stopwatch. We click on it. Okay. Now it has created a button here. We call it keyframe. Okay. So first button means like we have a board pin. We have clipped this picture on the board pin in left. Now we bring this picture on the right in board pin, on the board where, sorry, just a moment. We have moved this clip on the board. See how here. Okay, we have moved here and clipped here, and now see we have achieved what that specific effect preset was giving us. Now, why have we achieved here? And okay, this can be a question that if we can do it manually, then why we have it in effects? We have it in effects to save our time, because doing it manually may take 2 or 3 minutes. But applying this effect directly to the timeline over the clip may take just a few seconds or the few frames if we talk in the Premiere Pro language. Okay. So this was all about effects and effects presets. I'll reset everything. I'll reset the entire mode. This is the reset button. See, this is the reset parameter. For example, if you make any sort of changes, you make scale, and now you want, no, I don't want to scale it. You just reset it. It will bring you back to where it was. And the keyframes we were talking about, these were the keyframes. You want to delete them, just click on the stopwatch of position. It will delete all the keyframes. Okay. Now we scaled it. We will we have positioned it, and if we have made all the changes in motion, we just reset the entire motion. Okay. Okay. Here we come with the other options. These were the presets. Now we come on the Lumetri presets. See, Lumetri presets have what they have. These are the color changes it brings you to. These are also the presets. See, if you remember, we had an option in color. Let me show you. Color workspace. This is the color workspace. Okay. We see the Lumetri color panel on the right. We make manual changes to the clips. Okay. same way, we go in effects, and that Lumetri color panel was giving you manual changes application. Whereas in Lumetri presets, we have already available presets created by Lumetri panel. You see the change it has bring to this? Now I'm deleting this panel. I'm applying Cine Space 50 faded film. See? These are the default templates. You can say you may have used B612, Pixar, other applications, and these already have already prepared templates for color changes, or you call it editing, right? Photo editing. We click on two stripe, see the changes, and even after applying, you can do the color corrections if you're not liking it. See, let me do that for you with let's do that with faded film here, and I want it to do a more toning, so I'll do more exposure. You see the changes exposure is doing? I'm doing it more exposure. I'm bringing a little contrast to the clip. I'm bringing little highlights to the clip. Even after applying that specific preset of Lumetri, I can make changes from effects control panel. So basically, effects control panel is your control panel in hand, wherein you can do any sort of editing, okay. So I've deleted this too. So this is about someone was asking about how to do the Lumetri color corrections. This is how we do it. We already have a few available presets: cinematic, film stock, monochromes, okay, speed looks, then technical. We have a few available presets. We use them directly first of all. And still, if we don't understand and if we don't want any of the presets available in here, then we go directly to color panel and manually use this Lumetri color. This allows you to provide the color wheel. Okay, manually you can do faded film, sharpen, or do anything you can do. Cool. Let's go back to editing panel. Editing panel is the basic panel where you find everything. So I actually personally, I find this very convenient to work. Okay, I have deleted all the Lumetri panels, and we have completed. See the questions. How to minimize the background noise from the audio. We are still not at the audio part, Preeti. We are still waiting for it. We were at the video. I'll cover it further. Can you show an actual clip and do the mask and opacity editing for better understanding? Pradesh, we are restricted on the time, whereas I have shown you the mask, and if you want, I can share the masking tutorial, masking and opacity tutorial with you. Or I can share it right here on the chat box. Just give me a moment. So this is the basic. Adobe has almost all the tutorials available online. You can look for them. Whereas this is the specific tutorial for masking and tracking. This will help you in understanding the masking in a better way. Okay, if you have any sort of doubts. YouTube link. Shilpi, I'm not sure. I guess this is the recorded session. So you can get a recording for this session too.
Yes, this is a recorded session. It's also being broadcasted live on YouTube. So right after the recording is done, right after the webinar is done, the live session will actually become the YouTube video for your reference.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, let's move on further. Real-time preview for edited portion can be seen on program monitor. Like I said, any changes you make are not visible on source monitor, but can be seen in real time in program monitor. Okay. You can cut, trim, and merge clips to achieve the results. Okay. See, the tools you see here in the timeline, this tool is to select. This tool is track, select, forward tool. Let me show you what all tools are doing here. See, I have this clip selected right now, the dog clip. When I select track, select, forward tool, and I select this clip, it selects all the clips after this clip. Even if I have 20 clips after this clip, just a moment. I have only one clip selected. But when I click with track forward selector, it selects all the clip after this. This will help you in deleting all the clips in one go, multiple clips in one go, or editing multiple clips in one go, or doing any sort of editing you want to do with the multiple clips. Then here comes with ripple edit tool. Let me show you what ripple does. Okay, you see ripple edit tool is this red, huh? I clicked on it. I clicked on the edge. Now you see these yellow handles. When I'm dragging a little left, the yellow handle shows an arrow towards the left, which means this is for the edge of left clip, right edge of the left clip. Now when I press and bring it down, it will trim the clip. Okay, you see now this clip is shorter than before. Okay, same way, if I'll be doing this, now we see arrow is in the right direction, which means it is the left edge of the second clip. Now when I do this, it is making second clip smaller. You see, this is what ripple tool does. Now I come to razor tool. As the image says, it shows the blade, right? Razor tool, you can just put the blade anywhere and the image is cut in between two. And when it is cut in between two, like you want to remove this part of the clip, you can just select the clip and hit delete on the keyboard. That portion is deleted. Now only the half of the clip is remained because I have deleted the other half. Cool. Now here is slip tool. See what slip tool does. When I do this, just a moment. Okay, it is actually the clips are little GIF, so it is not doing it properly. Okay, you see what the slip tool is doing in the program monitor? It shows you the real-time changes it is making, though we cannot see those changes in the timeline. Let me show you on this clip. Okay, see, it is minimizing time. On the left hand, it is increasing the time. On the right hand, it is decreasing the time when I stretch it. So it shows on the right hand, it shows how much entire time it is slipping the clip to. And on the left hand, it shows from where it is getting slipped to. So we don't use it normally because it is not required. We normally use this tool, ripple edit tool, and for ripple edit tool, sorry. Yes, because that directly stretches the file to the location and it also shows the other files part within the same time. This is actually a bug with the slip tool as well in the latest version of Premiere Pro. So let's skip on to the pen tool. Pen tool is basically to select the portions. You see on the program monitor, you can directly mask the clips. See, it is masked. And you can see the masking in effect control. You see the shape, it says shape in effects control. This has created a path. You can make any changes to color, right? This is what pen tool does. So next move on to hand tool. Hand tool is just to make the movements. Let me tell you how it does. Okay, I'll create the type first of all. See, I type Adobe Hello. Okay, now I click on the hand tool. It moves. Okay, it is not moving because, okay, yes, you see the hand tool? If you have expanded the timeline, this is how hand tool will help you in going to another portion. Otherwise, you can go through this too. This is the basic bar and timeline, which you use to expand and minimize. And the text tool, I just have shown you the text tool. To move this text, we use the selection tool and move this text to anywhere we want. For example, I wanted this Adobe to be here. I want to minimize it and set into this box. But the box is big, yes. I'll make it a more bigger. Okay, you see? So these are all the tools we have achieved. This is how we cut, trim, and raise the tools, raise the clips. This is how we type the text. So this was the basic editing I have shown you. Okay. Then it comes with right click on the file in the timeline to work with speed and duration. That I have explained you already. On any clip, right click, go on speed and duration. If you want to reverse speed, reverse the speed, else make the speed changes and duration changes. You can also change optical flow, frame blending. When you will start working on it, you'll understand. One is for sampling movement that shows the difference of the speed, and one is for blending, direct blending. Okay. And one more thing I would like to tell you. Now, we are at the part of editing advanced. Okay, we still have 20 minutes left. Okay. Editing advanced, we happens, for example, you may have captured a video from 5 different angles, like we have seen in television also, R Bharat or any news channel, BBC news channel. So what they do, let me show you. I'll create a new sequence to make this concept easier to understand. Okay, we'll name it multicam. Okay, here. See, I am going to select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clips and 1 audio. Okay. Now I right click on the files. We are in the project bin. Just make sure which panel we are working on. Okay. We are in the project bin. I selected a few clips, 4 or 5 clips and 1 audio. I right click and click on create multi-camera source sequence. I name it test multicam. I select where I want to sync with, in point, out point, but I have only 1 audio. So I would like to go with sound time code. I click on OK and see what it makes. It says processed clips. You see? It says processed clips, which means it has created a different bin of processed clips and brought all those 7 clips into it. But for those process clips named multicam, we have another sequence where it has gone. Okay, let me just give me a moment. I need a test though. Just give me one moment. It has created a selection. Okay, here is the sequence. Sorry about that. This is the multicam sequence. I'll bring it in this multicam sequence which I have created. Okay, I have the entire clip I have created. Just give me a moment, I'll turn on the multicam preview. Okay, now we see. We may have seen this on Nat Geo, Geographic Channel, History Channel, or BBC News, or any Al Bharat News. See the changes it makes. Now we can also change the position of these clips. Okay, so we can play with the position of the source clip which was running on the right, and we can select any clip you want to play in the right. You see, this is the multicam preview that clip pays. I hope multicam is clear to everyone. This is a deep concept.
Hi, Shipra. I think we can move forward because we only have around 15 minutes left now. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, let's move on to next part, which is called nesting. For example, I want to put this sequence, blue sky and cloud sequence, in multicam. Then what I'll do, I cannot copy the entire range of clips, 4 or 5 clips, and then paste into it. This will be really inconvenient. So in editing, what it does, we right click, select clips, right click, and click on nest. Okay, this will create a nested sequence. Now see, this creates only one sequence, one clip. This made all clips to, this has changed all clips to just one clip. Now we can just put directly, this is the nested one sequence in the project bin. We can just drag and drop to the new sequence, and this has actually saved us from the hassle. Otherwise, putting and pasting 4 and 5 clips to the new panel, and then again 4 or 5 clips from another sequence, this will create the same problem. This will create a mess, and we'll not be able to understand media organizing, how we organize the media, and how good you organize the media. This shows how good you can edit. Actually, the other person will judge you on how you organize your media, how you assemble the media. So this was all about creating multicam and nesting clips. Then we move on to export. Okay, we have finally, we have achieved the result. This multicam is the thing which I wanted. Okay, now I want to export it. I have to send it to NASCOM Foundation. Then what I'll do, I'll have to export it into a video format. What I'll do, I'll go on file, I'll go on export, then I'll go on media. It brings entire video here. You can see the entire video from here. Okay, because it is multicam, so it is showing a little blanks here. The box is literally small. So another thing I would like to bring into your notice, you can select the small part here too if you want to export only this written part, because someone has asked me, I only want this part, this portion, please send me this portion. I can select this portion, have this portion selected, and you don't understand how you can get the entire sequence selected. Just select the source range and select entire sequence. It will select the entire timeline back again. Okay, now come to all the export settings. The format is, we have n number of formats available here. If you only want to export audio, AAC audio, AIFF, and MP3, these are for audios. Whereas waveform audio, for video, AVI, H.264, Blu-rays to burn the disc, the CD and DVD, then MPEG, then QuickTime. We have many formats available. Whereas, which one is recommended by Adobe? H.264 and QuickTime. Okay, these are the recommended available formats because we have many presets available under these formats. For example, H.264 I have selected. You see, we have Facebook presets available. We have Adobe stock presets available. We have presets available for Vimeo, YouTube, mobile devices. You can select, or even for Twitter as well. You can select any of the presets available here. And in QuickTime, let me show you what it has. In QuickTime, it has basically all the Apple ProRes. Apple ProRes means all the Mac and Apple available presets are available here. All presets are available here in Premiere Pro. These are already default provided presets. You do not have to create or download them from anywhere. Some from Adobe stock for GoPro Cineform. GoPro is for GoPro cameras and GoPro playbacks, NTSC PAL widescreens. So you can select any of these. Let me select H.264 to show you. I am selecting match source high bitrate. Match source high bitrate is giving you the highest quality. Okay. You can also select, if you want to manually select, you can select high quality 1080p, high quality 2160p, whichever you want. Then you can put any comment for the file. Let's put NASCOM training 11 November 2020. Okay, I am going to give it a name and saving it on desktop. I'm going to give it a name, NASCOM test output, and save. I named it. If I uncheck one of these boxes, if I uncheck export audio, this is not going to export the audio. If I uncheck export video, this is not going to export the video. This will only give you audio. Okay, whichever format you are going to export in. So make sure you have all these selected. Now it shows you the summary already that we have changed the output name and output location. So it shows you the summary where your output is going to be saved, which is the progressive hardware encoding language which you want, BBR1 pass target, whichever is your requirement. It shows you, it gives you a preview here. So if you have any other requirements, you can go ahead and make changes here below. Okay, if you want to make changes, then make sure you have this unchecked, then you can make changes. Okay, then frame rate, field output, everything uncheck, and then make changes. Okay, one more thing I would like to tell you, when we come to bitrate settings, when we increase bitrate settings, you see the number changes here. Okay, but let me show you one more thing. When we increase it here, you see the estimate file size increasing, 564 MB. If you want file to be in shorter size, just minimize it and see 102 MB. This actually gives you the quality of the file. If you are going to give it on 50 size, 50 Mbps, that is the bit rate, 50 Mbps, then your file size is increased up to 1091 MB. That is going to give you very, very amazing quality, very amazing. Okay, so that all is a game of quality. You can just go through it and play a little bit to understand how you can and that is basically the overall over the requirements you have. If you have the space and if you want to update it, upload your video to YouTube or Facebook, and you want specifically 10 Mbps file or 12 Mbps file, then you select these and play with this option. And that's the reason I thought this is important to tell you. Okay. Then you just click on export. It is better to keep it checked, use previews, and use maximum render quality always to achieve good results, and hit on export. When I export it, okay, it is exported. Okay, it is still exporting. Once it is exported, I'll show you the exported file.
I believe meanwhile we can take more questions. Generally, it does take a couple of minutes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So some of the questions that are out there is, is there a format available for WhatsApp for exporting?
So for WhatsApp, let me show you. This shows WhatsApp file requirement, file size limit. See, we have it online, 100 MB maximum file size we can upload over the WhatsApp.
So basically that means that any kind of format and any kind of MP4 format will work with the basic file size not increasing 100 MB. Great.
Absolutely.
So can we move the software from one laptop to another in case we have bought the license?
Definitely we can. Otherwise, if one person purchases a license, it is always available for 2 machines. If I have Premiere Pro on this machine and I want to use it on another machine, I can use it on 2 machines at one time. And the second thing is, if I want it to use on third machine, then I have to log out from the first machine and then install it on third machine and sign in with my user ID and password.
Great. Can we add shapes and texts while editing? I believe this has already been showcased.
Right. We have discussed it over.
What is Lumetri panel?
Lumetri panel is where we do the color correction. See, this is the Lumetri panel. We see in the right? We see in the right? Lumetri color is the panel.
Yes.
Right. So we make changes from here. Let me open this doc file again for better understanding. Okay. Okay, we make changes. Lumetri panel is to make color corrections over the clips only. This makes color corrections. So see, I have Lumetri panel available here. I have the doc file selected, and whichever file I want to, whichever changes I want to make. See, I made it green, I made it blue, or I want to fade it a little more. Just a minute. Okay, yes, I faded it a little. I have increased and decreased this intensity. I have decreased the vibrance. I have increased the saturation. See the color which has changed here from the color correction. This is what Lumetri panel is used for.
Great. I believe the export has happened. So
yes. Let's check the exported file. NASCOM test output. This is what we have named it. So it shows you the exported file, the entire exported file. Okay. And one more thing is left. One person has asked about captions, how to add subtitles and captions. I forgot about it. So let me show you here. Captions. Okay. Here in project panel, we right click, we go on new item, and then on captions, we create everything here. Captions, we create a plain black video here. We make a file offline here. So we go to captions. Okay, let me show you the captions one by one. We select as per the requirement if we want open caption or closed caption. Okay, So here is the caption, and how we make it. We just drag and we just drag and drop it here. Let's put it on this file. Okay. And let's type a few text. Just Adobe. We change the type. We have to roll it up or paint it on. And now, okay, it looks like we actually have a few bugs on the latest version. So that's the closed format. I'll make it an open subtitle. Just give me a moment, I'm sorry. Okay. Here we see the captions and we type anything in the caption. Hello, Adobe test. Yeah. It is corrupting while even making it. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, we have created a new caption. We have enlarged it to the location we wanted. And we have to extend this inside too. We can add multiple captions within one caption file. Okay, so this is showing test Adobe NASCOM Pro Bono training. And we can edit it by double clicking on Open Captions panel. And let me enlarge it a little more. Okay, this opens the caption panel we see. Here we can type anything we want. Even, let me make it a little smaller. So Adobe NASCOM Pro Bono training is till this point. And now I want to add another text and I'll say it. Let's begin. You are a pro. See, this is the next text it shows. And this is how we keep on adding captions. And one more thing, this is how we added captions, we see. And once I'm going to export it, this is the export panel, export settings. Once I'm going to export it, make sure we have the captions panel open and the right option selected. Burn captions into file. Open caption will always be burned, whereas closed captions will always be created as sidecar file. So we just have to make sure we will select the right options. And I think this is done for today. I have covered almost every topic. You can please proceed with the questions if you have any. Sara?
Yeah, I don't think we have any more questions out there. But one of the questions that actually is, I think, again targeted to us. If I may share my screen now, or if Jyoti, you can share your screen. I think we have a small slide deck
Sure,
also.
let me stop sharing.
Yeah. So let me quickly share my screen. Yes. I'm so sorry. This is, yeah. So this is the price point really that we are looking at when you're actually buying Adobe Photoshop elements and Adobe Premiere elements through Big Tech. You'll get it at a much lower rate. And again, even if you're getting a complete Creative Cloud solution, the rate is going to be at a 60% discount. So, and I believe this has been one of the other questions that has been asked quite frequently, and therefore we hope to answer that. A survey will also be sent out to all the attendees to further help us with your feedback on how we can improve our sessions. And also, in case you want to buy any of these products right away, you can just click yes on the survey itself in the question, and we will reach out to you and we will let you know how you can go ahead and buy that product as well. So thank you again, Shipra. This was a really, really amazing session. I also learned a few things today, and I hope our other attendees also learned a lot of new things out here. And over to you, Jyoti, now. Thanks again, Shipra. This was really, really wonderful.
Many thanks. It was all my pleasure to provide this training. Thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you, Shipra, for this engaging session. I'm sure all of the attendees will be able to work in this exercise and come back tomorrow with the same enthusiasm as today. Thank you for all the participants for taking out time for this session. Hope to see you tomorrow. Take
Thank
care.
you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.